Hey guys, so today I have Tyler Lau from the hiking world, I guess you would say. He is a little bit of a legend, at least to me and to some other people. It's weird he doesn't want to be known as that, but he is. And he's going to help me shake down my pack for the PCT. So Tyler's done all 3 trails in a calendar year, so I think he's more than qualified to do this. And I'm sure it'll be weird for him, but it'll be great for me. Tyler.
Hey everybody. Yeah, trail name's the Prodigy, and I finished my Triple Crown in 2018. Did the PCT in 2016 for the first time. Done the JMT. Did the Colorado Trail last year. At least I finished the sections I didn't finish the year before. So yeah, I have a few miles. Done a little walking, but.
Do you have an estimated amount of miles? Like, you probably don't know specifically, obviously.
10,000 plus, maybe.
In how many years?
Most of that is in the last 4 years.
Qualified. If you can save me some weight, that'd be great, but.
Yeah, so for those that don't know, a shakedown is when someone else or yourself, you dump out everything in your pack and you go through every item and you figure out, do you need it? Do you want it? Set it aside in different piles or get rid of it as you go. But the whole point is to figure out what is it you're actually using. Because if you're not using it and you're carrying a tripod for 100 miles, that's a pound or 2 you can take off of you, and that's a pound or 2 more food or water you can carry.
Sure.
And for me personally, food is the most important thing when I'm out there.
Yeah.
And for a lot of you, I'm sure you'll understand that when you're out there.
So this is my first big through hike. I did the Camino de Santiago, which was 550 miles, but we didn't have to carry tents or food or any of that. So it was like soft.
Yeah.
I'm soft.
But it's still a through hike. So.
Yeah, I guess. So I'm relatively close to being packed up with everything I have, and I'm just gonna let you kind of take it apart.
This will be fun. Maybe we'll time lapse this. Underrated item.
I'd like to hear that. Just bought it.
Important thing before anybody starts is get to know your gear. I'm not 100% familiar with this pack, so there's all these nooks and crannies that I'm going to be digging into and finding things, I'm sure. But it's really important to put all your gear on before you go. People will tell you the trail gets you in shape, and there is a lot of truth to that, but if you show up out of shape, you risk getting hurt. So, and then you risk being off trail right away, and then would say post-trail depression kicks in pretty quick.
Yeah, when you plan a big trip and then you can't even, get a few weeks into it.
Especially with social media these days, and you're following people, you're like,
I
was with them.
I've got a lot of people that are supporting me. I can't let them down.
Yeah, you're welcome to help me figure out what else.
Yeah, here, I'm gonna pull some of this stuff out too.
A lot of nooks and crannies.
Yeah. Okay. So that's like everything I think exterior-wise in here.
Okay.
And then, yeah. I feel like I have an issue with wanting to compartmentalize everything.
And that is very common.
Right. But, each individual bag is a third of an ounce or, something like that. This is just a placeholder. It's like Christmas. This stuff is not cheap either, guys.
No, it isn't. So,
I think I saved up for or slowly pieced all this gear together in a 3-year period since I did the Camino. We kind of wanted to do something more serious. I think that's it.
It doesn't look too bad, actually. I was afraid there would be more bags than there already are, but.
You have one of these? This is a
I do.
Equipment Toward Apex jacket. It's brand new.
Highly recommend this jacket. It's super lightweight, it dries really quickly, it keeps you warm, especially if you're using a quilt. For those that aren't familiar with quilts, they're lighter than sleeping bags because they're not full mummies and there's usually no zipper, but you usually want to have a top on when you're, a puffy jacket or some sort of warm top.
So will you sleep in this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, especially for folks hiking the PCT, The desert isn't flat.
Yeah, it's not flat, and
No,
it's not scorching all night either.
No, you go through some pretty extensive mountain ranges that get you ready for the Sierras, where this is really going to come in handy.
So do you carry a mid layer at all, or like a sleeping layer?
Nope. I'm usually either in my hiking shirt, or to be honest, I try to sleep naked when I can because the heat is trapped that way.
Okay, so let's get this out of here then. It's out.
But we're keeping that one.
Keeper, doing all right. 1 for 1.
What?
Z-Packs, duplex.
Very popular tent on trails, super lightweight. It's like 20 ounces, 19 ounces.
Without the stakes, I guess.
Yeah, depending on which stakes you use. I personally use MSR groundhogs, the mini ones.
Yeah. I think I'd like the Z-Packs version of it, like those Sonic stakes, I think they're called.
Yeah. So just figure out what stakes go with it. But one thing here that I do personally is I ditch the bag.
Do you?
Yeah, and then I'll use it as a separate stuff sack.
Okay.
Definitely keeper, you want a shelter. It's one of your essentials. You'll hear that said a lot from other people and myself probably through this video, but essentials are the things you need.
And Dyneema's like pretty, it'll hold up pretty well.
Yeah.
Like you stuffed it in the bottom of your pack, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Right? I don't even know what tank you had.
I actually had a Z-Packs Ultra Flex. So that's the single version of this. So it's just one pole. It's definitely a keeper. And I should rewind a little bit. Some people cowboy or cowgirl camp the entire way, so they don't use a tent. So, but for folks that are going to use a shelter, that's one of your essentials.
This is my quilt. This is also a custom Enigma quilt from Enlightened Equipment.
Oh, okay.
It's $9.50.
What's it rated?
10. I worried that it would be too warm, in all honesty.
It'll be super helpful in the Sierras and the high mountain ranges.
I also have a 20-degree quilt.
Which you could use in the beginning and then
Right.
ship this to the Canadian Meadows. Also, something that you could potentially use as a stuff sack. So we can go over that later.
Really? Okay. Cool.
Or repurposing the stuff sack. But yeah, quilt, thumbs up for me, because I was a sleeping bag guy in the beginning when I first started my thru-hikes, and then switched over to a quilt.
I think a lot of people like get worried about like they're gonna be cold if they don't, if they can't zip in, or maybe there's like a security thing, like I'm zipped in, I'm safe.
Yeah, and I think that's also something that you kind of have to figure out on your own. So that's why I highly recommend testing your stuff beforehand. Going on day hikes and overnight trips.
The Enlightened Equipment has the that convert quilt that has a zip all the way up. If you're like
if you're really
in between. These, another Enlightened Equipment purchase here. Have you seen these?
windbreaking pants.
Cowfield wind pants.
I personally just use my rain pants, but I didn't.
This is my big question for you. This is one of my big questions.
And this is where personal preference comes into play.
Okay. So, I don't know if I can talk about it yet, but this company is making something that's going to be really amazing that will sort of eliminate this for me.
Yeah.
And allow me to.
There's rumors.
There's rumors.
But windbreaking layers are amazing. I didn't subscribe to that until actually this last year when I wasn't hiking, and I finally got myself a windbreaker, and I realized, whoa, this makes a big difference.
Yeah, I never really did either, and then they sent me the Copperfield wind pants here, and like they're substantially warmer when you put them on just and stand around. So
yeah,
that's interesting though. So stay tuned on this guy.
Yeah,
stay tuned. But like just generally having them or like day hikes and stuff would be awesome.
Yeah,
I'll throw that in back.
What's in that bag?
This is just like clothes. This is the extras, you know. So extra pair of underwear, leggings. These are the
booties.
The booties. I don't know. I took one less pair of socks. I only have 2 pairs of socks total, and 1 pair of booties.
I would definitely recommend having more than 1 pair. I've seen people try to do 1 pair. And, I mean,
how many pairs do you do?
I usually have 3, and I'll have either Injinji socks or Darn Tough or 0.6, and it just depends. Like in the desert, I like my Injinjis more, and then if it gets colder, I'll switch to the more wool heavy socks.
Yeah. Yeah, I keep going back and forth, like 2 or 3 pairs of socks, but then when the booties came in, I kind of figured maybe this, like the 3rd pair of socks would have been to sleep in for me.
Yeah, and that's also a personal preference of whether you sleep in socks or not. But just know that you've been on your feet all day, so your feet have swollen. So like making sure you elevate your feet and not constricting them. But with this bag, we'll talk about as well, since we have 2 potential bags we can repurpose. With socks also, like I'll mail a pair ahead, like in the Sierras, because I know my socks are gonna be torn up, my shoes are gonna be torn up. So sometimes I'll carry either one less or one more.
Okay. We talked a little bit about this before it started.
Yeah.
It's a polycro ground sheet. But
Yep. Which is great, super lightweight. Again, it's really preference. Like you can do Tyvek, you can use your tent ground cloth if you have one.
My worry is that this is just like almost too light. That it will be floating away on me if I cowboyed.
Well, you'll be sleeping on top of it.
Yeah.
So, like,
I'm big.
I don't think you have to worry about that. It's more just when you're cowboying, making sure there's no spiky things that are gonna puncture. So
that'll bring me to this. That was a great transition.
Yeah.
This is like that, just the Gossamer Gear 1/8 inch, closed cell, rather than a butt pad that you see people bring.
Yeah.
This weighs less, and it's actually something I can
This is really light. Yeah.
roll out underneath.
This is almost like a yoga mat.
So I figured, like, in the desert, this goes on top of that, Neo Air goes on top of that, and then done deal, and then use that as a butt seat during the day.
Yeah,
Or when I'm
again,
walking.
preference where, like, for me, I'd probably cut this and just take a quarter of it.
I have a much bigger butt.
Again, personal preference, I'm not judging, but...
Okay. For me, like, I feel like this is so lightweight that...
The one thing you have to watch with this is when you get to areas that trail crews haven't gotten into and there's downfall or trees and brush are growing into the trail, that getting caught.
Yeah. Okay, so we touched on this a little bit. This is the new Neo Air.
Sweet.
I don't know if you saw that at Outdoor Retailer
Yeah.
this week. It's cool, just like the old one. I didn't find it like inflated much quicker than the other one because of the valve, but because air volume is air volume, like the same amount of air needs to fill it up.
Yep.
This is a wide version though, which they just started making, and I'm a wide guy.
Yeah.
So
again, it's sleeping pads are personal preference. Some people choose inflatables. Some people choose.
what do you sleep on? The people want to know.
I used a Thermarest Neolite in 2018.
Right.
But sometimes if I find a nice bed of pine needles or
very earthy.
or sand that I can kind of like scooch into, then I'll sleep on that with a ground cloth. But I do like the older foam pads like the Z-Rest. Like those are great. They're durable. They make great butt pads.
Yeah, and people carve those up for a million different things.
Yeah, so
you don't have to have like the small little butt pad that Thermarest makes. You can
you can just cut up an old one,
Yeah.
especially if you're going through hiker boxes and you find an old one, which is what I did in 2016. I found one. I was like, chopping that.
Yeah, it's kind of a good resource to kind of dig through those on.
Yeah. So, but again, sleeping pads just depends what you want. Again, like Luke said, he invested a lot of time and money into getting this gear. Not everybody has to get a certain piece. You gotta find what works.
Yeah, and I like do gear reviews as part of my business, so a lot of this has been like donated to me to try out and things like that. So there are other options for sure. I think I'm gonna carry like 4 1-liters through the desert anyway. That makes sense to you?
Yeah, I think having the ability to carry at least 3 liters minimum is good. I usually have 4-liter capacity. Or
you move
not
quick
more.
though.
Yeah, but the first time I hiked, I had a platypus hose and bladder with 2 bottles. That was just a preference when I first started because I've been doing outdoor work for so long that I liked the hose. The last time I did a really big hike, it's just bottles because they're really easy and most bottles fit the Sawyer filters, which we have here.
Yeah, this is Sawyer Squeeze. I'll talk about all this stuff in a video at some other point, but like brand new one. Haven't seen one of those in a while. Have an extra washer in there.
Yeah, the washer.
That's a bad idea.
Well,
I mean, if we're talking, if you're really trimming me down, you wouldn't bring the coupler.
I wouldn't bring the coupler, but the washer I might send ahead somewhere or like having a.
I mean, you can't just buy them like at an REI. I don't think.
Hardware stores will have them most of the
Okay.
time. But
See, I didn't know that.
you just, not every place you go is gonna have a hardware store, because some places you go, it's just gonna be a resort, or it's gonna be
Right.
a tiny little town with a general store. So,
What about something like this?
yeah, no, they make, Sawyer makes the bags, CNOC,
Yeah.
Evernew as well as a
Evernew.
bag that is really well rated.
They all fit.
Or, if you wanna get rid of it, you use another smart water bottle, and that's your dirty water bottle, and you squeeze.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, again, this one's preference. If I was really nitpicky and I was doing it for myself, I would ditch that.
You
but,
would?
But that's something I think is important for people to figure out
Yeah,
as
like-
they go. So,
Right.
'cause-
I think I have a healthy fear of not being able to have at least the capacity to carry as much water.
yeah, because that's the other thing, is that provides you another 2 liters or 3 liters.
And I mean, the Sawyer bags are lighter. I could always
Yeah.
carry that.
Yeah.
I think for me, it's just the ease of use to open up the back end of this
Mhm.
and scoop
Yeah,
is really kind of what the draw is for there.
and yeah, the prevalent ones you're gonna see are smart water and life water bottles,
Right.
and most trail towns are gonna have them. But if you can't find them, most other water
Yeah. I
bottles.
mean,
That's
I did a job with this company, so I kept the
There you
bottles.
yeah.
um,
But
So
one thing
anyways.
to point out with those bottles, you gotta switch them out. You can't keep the same bottle.
yeah. Some people have a like badge of honor, like this
Yeah.
came with me from Campo.
And I was like, yeah, that's got mold and fungus in it.
Yeah. You're nasty skank now.
So
Okay. That's my light.
that is way more ultralight than me. I still have the original cord on mine.
You're a
but,
band guy.
Yeah. But
I mean, I don't know how this is gonna work out. That's under an ounce at this point. It doesn't feel uncomfortable to me.
yeah, I mean, if you have a beanie or a buff too,
Yeah.
that'll go.
It's
with that.
rechargeable, you know.
That's something key. Is I always have rechargeable and devices, but also like devices that take the same cord, so I'm not bringing like 5 different cords.
Right.
Headlamp, definitely keep. Always make sure it's charged and that's not on in your pack.
This is the Garmin InReach Mini.
Mhm.
I don't know.
I had the first version, so mine is much bigger than
Big
this.
boy, right?
But these are great to have. Just be careful not to trip the SOS if you're not really in a dangerous situation. That's been happening a lot more with spot devices and Garmin's in the
a
field.
big deal.
So just, for people that are getting this, know how to use it, know how to lock it so it doesn't trip SOS.
Yeah. This poop kit, you know.
Yeah.
Wipes.
I
Trowel.
also use the Deuce of Spades. Amazing trowel. Super lightweight, super durable.
Pack out my paper.
Everybody, please pack out your toilet paper.
Oh, it's so disgusting.
If you use toilet paper, if you use natural material, you do.
Are you a natural material guy? Come on.
Yeah.
For the life of me, I cannot figure
So-
out how that works. I watched Skirka's video. I watched it. I can't figure that out.
Some places it's a little tougher, but you
Okay.
make it work.
I feel like you're on your own in that one.
Yeah.
Did you carry anything to write with, or any sort of like? Did you have a pen or?
The first thru hike I did, yeah, I had a tiny journal, but then I realized most nights I would fall asleep
Right.
or read a little.
But do you think it's like important to have something to like leave a note or?
Yeah, no, it's nice, especially if you're hiking with someone and you like get ahead of them and you're
Right.
going into town because you got a hitch to leave a note on the side.
Yeah.
But with gut hooks nowadays,
Yeah,
and,
gut hooks,
and
and even-
service,
The Garmin InReach,
yeah, it's.
someone has it anyway.
But if you're a journaler, like it's definitely
Yeah.
nice.
I remember when I was on the Camino, like I was doing this film project and
Yeah.
or photo project, and I thought I was gonna write it like my notes every night, and I would get there, and our days were like not nearly as exhausting as a backpacking day. Like I would
Yeah.
sit and like drink coffee,
Yeah.
but even then I was like, dude, I was just processing the day and not
Yeah.
writing notes. And the notes that I did write, I'd like look back fondly on, but
Yeah, no, and that's great.
yeah,
I don't have that. I wrote notes on my phone actually, so that's another thing. Is like multi-purpose when you're packing your stuff and
Yeah.
getting your stuff. Is can I find multiple uses for one thing? So the phone for me is my camera,
right.
my journal, my entertainment.
Yeah, and like your little videos you take along, they kind of are your notes, really. Like when it
Yeah.
comes down to it, just got to know how to back them up, right?
That is important.
Okay.
So that one's made. That one's again
Made.
personal preference.
Yeah.
Um,
These 3 items I have in like my hip belt pocket. Sunblock, body glide, lift stuff and
Preference. It's all personal preference.
did you
on
carry a
that.
blade with you?
I had a tiny Swiss
this?
Army knife, like smaller than that. Like the size of the blade was the size of my entire, pretty much that. Maybe a tad bit smaller, not as much stuff. It only had the nail filer.
Let's get this off the keys here.
It's good for opening packages. That's the biggest thing.
So that's, yeah, I mean, that's really open package, cut cheese.
Yeah, or if you cut your nails. Just
Yeah.
depends.
Did you bring a nail clipper or you just use your scissors from that?
I would ask other hikers.
Yeah.
They always had them, so
Yeah.
you'd be surprised what other people will carry. And
That's great. Okay.
yeah, so that again,
They're both very small. Like these both
Yeah.
weigh under an ounce.
Yeah.
So
I mean, you'll see people with giant knives,
if it makes you feel more comfortable
Yeah.
in the woods.
but honestly,
I mean, this fits.
it's. But yeah, deodorant and stuff, personal preference.
you-
I don't bring deodorant.
Did you do pants in the desert on the PCT?
I have zip-offs, which makes it multi-use, so they can either be pants or shorts. I usually wear shorts when I hike, unless there's mosquitoes, which is when the zip-offs go on.
Right.
Which you will encounter mosquitoes everywhere on trail.
Everywhere. You
Everywhere.
would say
But the worst will be as you continue going north.
Right. Okay. First day, just like standard issue stuff. I'm sure there's stuff in here you would have pulled out.
Yeah, we'll get real nitpicky with that.
Yeah, I
but
mean-
that's also personal preference. I don't carry a kit
I'm
anymore.
gonna dump this out. Oh. Well, if
But-
you need a Benadryl. There's too much in here right now. I know that for a fact. But it's just like crap that I've collected over the years.
My first aid kit is duct tape and some anti-diarrheal pills. Something else.
Oh, I
That's
got
about
it. I got it. Anti-diarrheal.
But just make sure you're hygienic when you're out there. Just wash your hands. You know, do your thing in the woods properly. Make sure everything's clean. And
Especially if you're using natural things in nature. You gotta know how to identify a leaf.
yes, you will run into poison oak on the PCT. Actually, a lot of it. So just know not to use the poison oak
Okay, so basically this is like,
or cacti.
I'm gonna organize this just a little bit. I wear contacts that I'll sleep in, so I need that. Anti-diarrhea, there's some ibuprofen floating around here. I mean, probably too much leukotape and KT tape type stuff.
And that's something again where it really goes to what you think you'll need initially. For a lot of people, I know we discussed this in another conversation, but the desert will kick your ass, especially if your feet aren't used to it. And
Yeah.
really try to harden your feet.
What would you suggest that like harden your feet?
Wear your full pack weight and walk around the block, or do a local hike and get used to it, because you need to know what it feels like to have all that weight on you, and your feet need to understand how to move with it.
Yeah.
So that's the biggest thing. Obviously people coming from like the UK aren't gonna have a desert to train in, but if you have the ability to go somewhere dry and practice hike, do it.
I'm actually going to San Diego for 3 weeks before.
There you go. See?
Not everyone has that luxury.
No.
I have friends that live there, but
But any sort of dry environment, definitely helpful.
this is tenacious tape. I mean, there's two
Yep.
little round pieces.
So yeah,
I probably don't need these, even though they're cute, huh?
they are pretty cute, but you already have a knife.
Just cute. All right, so that's one piece we found to leave. Definitely, it's out. One safety pin, one twist tie.
Twist tie, you'll find anywhere in town.
Twist tie's out. Don't need to carry it.
Safety pin, if you want to get real ultralight, you can get the small one. But
Yeah. I think I'm good with the big guys, but other than that, that's it. That's the med kit. Neosporin,
what's that? Super glue.
super glue. Yeah.
Yeah, and those are preference.
Yeah. I mean, super glue, you can like take a small wound and super glue it together.
Yeah.
That's why it was actually created. That's done. This stuff's done. Toothpaste and a toothbrush. I'm not gonna cut anything. I'm not doing that.
I cut.
You cut, so you'd have like half
I
this.
wouldn't have the blue part.
All right, I got my issue with that is that like your hands are probably pretty dirty at the end of the day, and
Yeah, I always wash them.
you're jamming them up in your mouth.
You got again. It's about staying as clean as you can
Yeah.
in the circumstances.
And you like basically lived on trail for an entire year, so I mean, trust what you're saying. This is the Light AF food bag. This is a question I have for you. This is a big question for me. Is
Food bags are a go. I highly recommend them.
okay.
But some people just stick with Ziplocs, which is fine. But
This versus this.
the what food bag?
Yeah.
This.
Yeah. Would you ever dunk one inside the other? No, doesn't make sense to you.
That's what a Ziploc is for.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only good thing about this is you can see where everything is.
Right.
But you pack your bag every day at every break, so you should. Once you get the hang of it, you're gonna know where you put things.
So, this is like a very controversial topic right now, but like
And this cinches.
sleeping with your food.
I don't know what I should say on camera or shouldn't say,
Yeah.
but if you are hiking through the Sierras, please have a bear can.
Right. It's like a question that no one will answer properly. You
But
know,
we all
like,
know
what do
what
you
we
do?
do.
What do you do in the desert when there's no trees to hang anything on?
Oh, okay. So here's one thing that does irk me, and it's a pet peeve, is people that try to bear hang and don't do it right. Like just throwing a piece of string
Yeah.
over this and having it right above your tent is not a bear
That's not
hang.
how it works. Yeah.
No, if you look at the photo, it needs to be at least minimum 12 feet off the ground, 4 feet away from the base of the tree.
Yeah.
So a lot of places you're not going to have that.
No.
So I will admit I do sleep with my food in the desert because it's safer for me as opposed to leaving it outside to attract rodents.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like the other side of that conversation. People are like, I would never bring it in my tent because the rodents are just going to chew through my $600 Z-Packs tent.
Then why are you out there?
Yeah.
I want to say it's preference, but it's also there is a smart way of doing it.
Okay, so this is something I go back and forth with a lot. This is just my little cook kit. It's the BRS 3000 in there. I got a spoon that doesn't fit in there, canister, and a rag. That's it. Oh, that's not supposed to be in there.
You already had a lighter earlier,
Yeah.
so to be nitpicky, I'd
Yeah.
get rid of that. This is for the
That's the
stove.
stove.
This stove looks pretty ultralight, so I'm not going to nitpick it, but I would probably ditch the bag myself. But
Yeah, I can ditch the bag.
um,
What I'm gonna do is I think I'm gonna take all the little things after this that would have been ditched by you and just see what that little weight savings would be.
and again, this is me saying what I would do. What he's going to do on his hike is up to him.
You cold soak sometimes though, so you're not even really.
Yeah, I cold soaked the entire calendar triple, so I didn't have a stove, which sucked a lot of the times.
Yes.
But I got so used to eating cold soaked instant mashed potatoes that when someone gave me the option to use their stove and do it, I couldn't eat them.
I honestly try to avoid like cooking anything in the pot, physically in the pot.
Yeah, that's actually really important for me. Is I was the same way. I would just use it to boil water and pour
Right.
it into the packet. Personal preference. I ate everything with a spoon, so even salad.
Can't even spoon,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So I mean, I could take or leave this. Isn't like anything
Or-
I'm like
or
married
chop
to.
it.
Or chop it. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true too. I never thought
And
of
then you could have both, and they would fit better together.
Yeah. Learned something here today. Just the ditty, which you might have some thoughts on. But to preface this, like I do content creation for a living, and you know, there's things in here. Oh, that's the pillow.
Yeah, I don't have a pillow, but I just use
I'll definitely
like my
have a
rain
pillow.
jacket.
Yeah. This is basically all the electronics. Not
Yeah.
too much. 2 batteries for the
Yeah.
camera that I'm bringing.
Not much I can say about it,
Yeah.
except this is smart is to have a adapter that has multiple outlets.
Yeah.
Like I see people with like the 3 or 4 outlet ones too, because when you get to town or anywhere with an outlet, you're gonna see how many people are hovered around it and all their devices.
Yeah, I wonder about that all the time. Like how, like there's only so many outlets and
Yep.
so many people that need to recharge.
So yeah, being able to share the space is helpful.
Are you cool with one ditty bag?
We can talk about bags on bags on bags. I will say there's probably someone watching this video right now that probably has bags and bags and bags and bags. And
You see that quite often when
Yeah.
people are like doing their shakedowns. It's like they just get lit up for the number of bags they have.
Yeah, and I'll probably swing down to 2-foot adventures at some point, or
Really?
Springs, and do some shakedowns.
Really?
Yeah, so I might see you
So
there.
if you want to see,
Or Scout and Frodo's. I'll probably swing there.
I'm starting there.
Yeah,
12th.
I did a few last year, so.
And then this last but not least, this umbrella, which you said you liked, and
I've never used one, but I've always wished I had it during hot days.
yeah, that customer gear. 6 moves his eyes.
Yeah.
I think the last thing I just want to go over with you real quick would be like clothing that I'm wearing versus bringing. Like, so, this is basically what I go back and forth about wearing.
For hiking.
Yeah, for hiking. You know, your standard issue
Yeah.
hiking shirt from Columbia.
It's got vents, maybe not. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Um,
Vents are helpful.
I go back and forth with wanting to do a sun hoodie because I kind of like hoodies.
Yeah, I've never heated it. I heat up fast personally.
Yeah, me too.
So like usually in the morning I'll debate for 1 minute like how many layers should I have on before I start walking? Because once you start walking you heat up, and that's what people
it takes me
forget.
like 3 minutes.
Exactly. People layer everything up and then they have to stop every 5 minutes to delayer. So for me, as someone that doesn't like to stop all the time, is I might just have my rain shell on or a windbreaker and I'll go.
You know, there's lighter shorts in these. These are the most comfortable for me. If I'm wearing them,
It's
that's
important
fine.
that they're comfortable. It's really important.
I've tried on, you know, like you see the short shorts out there. I'm like, oh, believe me, I went and tried a few on. It's not happening for me.
There is also the movement for skirts and kilts,
Yeah.
which I do have a purple rain skirt now. And
Yeah.
it's amazing. The aeration and the flexibility, and the fact that for the men's skirts that Mandy, who's the founder, does, there's clips that you can make it turn into shorts. So if you're hitching,
Yeah.
instead of hitching in a skirt,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, those look like shorts.
Oh, that's really nice.
So
How do you look
that's
at it?
there's a photo somewhere online. Again, pants, shorts.
And these are just like these are synthetic pants. They're not like these are pants that I found that are comfortable. Not like they're not like some fancy brand. I think they're
Yeah.
like high tech, but they like
Yeah.
kind of work for me until they don't work for me, and then I'll get another pair. I don't think.
And that's really a preference thing too, where some people sunburn really easily, so a lot of pants
Yeah.
and long sleeves. I personally like hiking in long sleeve shirts all the time because
Yeah, I'm a long sleeve guy.
big thing people forget is to sunscreen their or cover their hands, and I've gotten like really bad sun blisters on my fingers. So
Yeah, I've got a pair of the. I'm just like cheap like Amazon ones that will be
Yeah.
fine. I'm sure.
but I also don't like gloves unless it's cold. So.
Yeah. Did you carry gloves?
Yeah, I just had a pair of like
Thin
mittens.
liner. Yeah.
Actually, I forgot my gloves, and then I found a pair of cheap mittens at the Canyon Meadows hiker box with cats on them. So,
and it was fine.
yeah, I barely made it though. I would highly recommend some decent gloves because you're gonna be wet a lot of times. So
Yeah.
like once those get wet, it's hard to dry.
Yeah.
Yeah, with pants, comfort is key, and quick drying is key.
Yeah.
You want to have quick drying stuff.
This stuff even has like a DWR coating on it and things like that, so it won't absorb as much when it gets wet.
Yeah, and then also the benefit of long sleeves over short sleeves is, again, if you're going through areas that haven't been brushed or cleared out pre-season due to heavy snow pushing vegetation into the trail, it's nice to have that extra layer because you will get cut up and bugs will get you. So
Yeah.
I personally like long sleeves, but I see people hike shirtless, I see people hike in tank tops, I see people hike in short shorts. I need
Okay,
to
for
finish
me
this.
right now, this one, then we'll end it. If I could get a grade,
Oh, that's hard.
I mean, there's.
Well, the thing is, you haven't packed your food and water yet.
No, I haven't.
That's the important thing. Like, how much room do you have for your food and water? So maybe we should pack your.
Okay,
bag
we'll
again.
just do the whole video. So
Yeah. I mean, thus far, I think you're doing pretty good.
Bags, eliminate bags. Some bags.
Yeah. Instead of having multiple bags, having one big,
Bigger one.
like trash compactor bag, or you have that as your liner, and then that keeps everything right. So.
That's it. I got a little work to do. Want to thank Tyler, Prodigy, the Prodigy, for being here today. I learned a little. I hope you did too. And check out Tyler on Instagram.
At Hiking Prodigy. Yeah. And then there may be a YouTube video channel happening.
There's
soon.
going to be some YouTube stuff. So when that happens, I'll let you guys know. And
I'll have him rate me.
synergy. I don't know. Thanks guys. If you liked the video, like and subscribe, and we'll see you soon. Thanks. Do you like to be called Tyler? Or?
That's fine. Tyler, Prodigy, whatever.
Is it weird to say the Prodigy?
Yeah, I've started to switch more towards Prodigy, but in the beginning, it was like,
I feel like we gotta shorten up.
yeah, I gotta
There's a
also,
rebrand happening right
I
now.
gotta also let my name.